Shahin lived in a small, quiet village surrounded by golden rice fields that swayed gently in the morning breeze. His house was tiny, made of mud walls, with a roof that leaked whenever it rained. Most nights there was no electricity, and the family relied on a single kerosene lamp that cast flickering shadows across the room. His father worked tirelessly in the fields for a few coins a day, and his mother sold vegetables by the roadside, her hands rough and trembling from years of labor. Despite all this hardship, Shahin carried a quiet spark in his heart, a determination that no poverty could snuff out. Every morning he ran barefoot to school, his books tied together with an old worn rope, his uniform patched in several places. The children at school often teased him for his torn clothes, but Shahin would smile politely and ignore them. When the teacher once asked the class about their dreams, Shahin stood tall and said, "I want to become a doctor, so that poor people don't die just because they can't afford help." Some laughed, thinking it impossible, but Shahin's eyes shone with hope. After school, while other children played, Shahin helped his father in the fields. He carried heavy sacks of rice, helped with planting and harvesting, and sometimes skipped his own meals so his younger sister could eat. Nights were the hardest. After completing chores, he would sit under the dim kerosene lamp trying to study, often falling asleep with his head on the books. Hunger and exhaustion made tears well up in his eyes, but he never cried aloud. Deep inside, he believed that if he gave up, all the sacrifices his parents had made would be wasted. He whispered to himself, "I will not fail. I will make Baba proud." One stormy night changed Shahin's life forever. His father fell seriously ill, but the nearest hospital was miles away, and there was no money for treatment. They prayed through the night, hoping for a miracle, but by morning, his father had passed away. Shahin sat beside him, holding his hand, tears streaming down his face. "Baba, I promise, I will make a difference. No one in our village will die because they are poor," he whispered. That night, something inside him hardened. He decided that nothing, not hunger, not hardship, not despair, would stop him from pursuing his dreams. From that day, Shahin studied harder than ever. Every free moment was spent with his books. He would read under the flickering lamp, memorizing lessons, solving problems, and dreaming of a future where he could help people. Friends teased him for spending so much time studying, and his mother sometimes urged him to work to earn money, but Shahin only smiled. "Not yet, Ma, I'm almost there," he would reply. The scholarship exam approached, and Shahin's nerves were tense. Sitting in the crowded classroom, he held his pen tightly, remembering his father's words. "Success is not about money. It is about purpose." With every ounce of strength, he wrote his answers, pouring in his dreams, struggles, and all the nights he had stayed awake learning. Weeks later, the results came. Shahin opened the letter with trembling hands, his mother beside him. When he saw that he had earned a full scholarship to study medicine in the city, he could hardly believe it. Tears streamed down his mother's face as she fell to her knees, whispering, "Your father would have been so proud, Shahin." From that moment, Shahin's journey into the city began, a journey filled with new struggles. Life in the city was tougher than he had imagined. He worked nights in a small restaurant to pay for food, studied all day, and sometimes slept in the library because he couldn't afford rent. He missed home terribly, especially his mother's voice and the smell of fresh earth after rain. Some days exhaustion threatened to break him, but every time he looked at a photograph of his father in his wallet, he reminded himself of the promise he had made. "Baba, I will not let you down," he whispered. Years of hard work, sleepless nights, and relentless determination eventually paid off. Shahin graduated as Dr. Shahin Ahmed, the boy who once studied under a flickering lamp. When he returned to his village, he was greeted with cheers and tears. People remembered the poor boy who had walked barefoot to school, and now he was a symbol of hope. Shahin built a small clinic near the fields where his father had worked and treated every poor patient for free. When someone asked why, he simply smiled, saying, "Because once I couldn't afford hope either." Shahin's story became a lesson for the village and beyond. Life may give nothing, no money, no comfort, no easy way, but with faith, hard work, and the courage to never give up, even the deepest pain can be transformed into strength. The poorest hearts often carry the richest dreams, and Shahin's life was living proof of that.